Uttar Pradesh, as well as he also worked in Kuar Satyavir College of Engineering and Management, Bijnor, Uttar Pradesh. And his dissertation topic, Doctor of Philosophy thesis, was in the area of cryptography and network security from the School of Computer Systems, JNU. And he done his master's also from the JNU in computer science. And his number of publications in the journals, he have approximately 10 to 15, 14 publications in reputed journals, as well as different publications in conferences also. And regarding his area of research, his area of research is cryptography and network security. Today, sir will explain about what is the basic idea of cyber security and the different challenges that we are facing. So it's over to you, sir. Please start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for introducing, myself. So should I start now with the topic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you can share the slides also.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Thank you. So my screen is shared with you all. Hello.
Yeah, now your screen is shared.
My screen is visible to you, visible to all.
Yes, sir. Please go to the slideshow.
Okay. So first of all, good evening to one and all. My name is Dr. Mohammad Sharik, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Sharda University, Greater Noida. Cybersecurity and its challenges, and what are the solutions of the cybersecurity. So let's discuss about what is cybersecurity. So basically, in the digital era, in the age of information and information and communication technology, so as internet is growing rapidly everywhere. So internet is we are using the internet everywhere. Uh, to your digital devices, to our social media, so everywhere internet is playing a very vital role. Two sides, like cyber crime, illegal activity committed on the internet. So in the digital era, these are the major challenges which is we are facing on the internet. So crime committed using a computer and the internet to steal a person's identity, or illegal imports or malicious program. So obvious, by using the internet or computer, so there are several crucial problems where we can where there is a huge risk to breach the privacy of a person, of our individuals. So cybercrime is an activity done using computers and the internet. So the main objective of cyber security is to establish some rules, measures to use against the basic definition of cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is known as information security, or we can say computer security, which refers to the practice of protecting a computer system, or we can say our networks, our data, and digital information from theft, damage, unauthorized access, and other cyber threats, or we can say attacks. So it involves the implementation of various technologies, processes, and practices to assure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So some of digital assets to mitigate risk associated with the use of technology and the internet. So as we know very well, cybersecurity is used to provide protection of the internet connected system. For example, our hardware, our software, and data from the cybersecurity attacks. The computing context. So cybersecurity security comprises cybersecurity and physical security. So both are against unauthorized access to data centers and other computerized system, which is basically designed to maintain confidentiality feature, integrity feature, and availability feature of data. So, which is a subset of cyber security. So there are some issues in the cyber security. So first one we can see data breaches. So it means unauthorized access or exposures of the sensitive information. And the second one is phishing attack, which is nothing but deceptive tactics to tricks individuals into sharing confidential data. So third one is our malicious infections. So this is nothing but malicious software that can compromise system integrity. So fourth one is insider threats. It defines risk posed by authorized individuals with malicious intents. So these are the very basic problems in the cyber security. So now we can see the CIA triad in cyber security. So as we discussed in the previous slides about confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So what does it mean? Confidentiality. So confidentiality basically focuses on ensuring that information which is accessible only to the authorized individuals or authorized persons, entities, or system. So basically, it is used to prevent unauthorized access, disclosure, or exposure of sensitive and are private and on private, or we can say are confidential informations. So what are the basic measures to achieve confidentiality? So which are basically encryption, access control, data classification. So in the encryption technique, so we transform data into a secure, unreadable format that can only be decrypted by authorized party. So what is the next one is access control. So we implement mechanism to restrict access to information based on roles, permissions, and authentication. The third one is data classification. So we categorize our data based on its sensitivity and applying appropriate security controls. So second one is integrity. So integrity ensures that information remains accurate, unaltered, and trustworthy throughout its life cycle. So basically, it provides safeguarding the data from unauthorized modifications, tampering, or any types of malicious activity tampering our data, modification of our data, or corruption. So the basic measures to ensure integrity include data validation, digital signature, change detection. So what is data validation? So it verifies the accuracy and validity of the data with the input validation and error checking mechanism through the digital signatures. In the digital signatures, we used some cryptographic techniques like our hash function or physically unclonable function, some digital signatures to sign and verify the authenticity and integrity of our digital documents, which is being shared from one entity to the another entity. So third one is our change detection. So what is the meaning of change detection? So we monitor and detects our unauthorized changes to the files and configurations and system settings. So what is the third one is availability. So availability basically ensures the information and systems are accessible, operational when needed by authorized user. So it involves preventing disruptions, downtime, denial of service attacks. The measures to maintain availability includes redundancy, disaster recovery planning, And third one is distributed denial of service mitigation. So what is the dependency? So implementing backup systems, failure mechanism, and duplicate resources to ensure a continued operation in the system. So disaster recovery planning means creating strategies and procedures to recover system and data alteration. Denial of service, distributed denial of service mitigation, basically deploy defenses to mitigate attacks that could overwhelm systems and disrupt availability. So these are the next one. The next slide presents the 8 security dimensions. So which are access control, authentication. The third one is non-reputation, data confidentiality, communication security, data integrity, availability, and privacy. So what is access control? So it limits and control access to network, implement services and applications. So authentication provide proof of identity. So the examples of the authentication is like our digital signature, digital certificate, our public key infrastructure, shared secrets. Non-reputation means prevent ability to deny that an activity on the network occurred. Data confidentiality means ensuring our confidentiality of the users data. Communication security ensures information only flows from source to destination. And data integrity basically ensures data which is received as sent or retrieved as stored. Availability, just we have discussed in the previous slides, ensure network elements, services, and application available to legitimate users. So privacy ensures identifications and the network used is kept private. So these are the security goals. So which are confidentiality, authentication, message integrity, access control, non-repudiation. So as we most of the security goals we have discussed in the previous slide. So what is confidentiality? So it ensures the content of the message which is not visible to any person than the authorized receivers. So what is the meaning of authentication? So we ensures the integrity of user identities, like users credentials is its user ID and password, the user's information through the identification or identification of legitimate and illegitimate. So message integrity, basically the received message is not cannot be altered, cannot be modified intentionally in route compared with the original sent message. So, the access control, basically which is network or system resources, so that only authenticated users who have specific authorization that can access the system. So non-repudiation basically guarantees that the sender is a legitimate sender or of received message, and the sender cannot later dispute the sending messages. So these are the security goals. So basically, the cyber security prevents unauthorized access to sensitive information, safeguard the functionality of computers, which maintains the privacy and trust of individuals, organization using digital resources. So what are the basic security goals? So network security, endpoint security, data protection, identity access management, vulnerability management, incident response, security awareness training, risk management, penetration testing, security auditing and compliance, cloud security, mobile security. So, what is the actual meaning of network security? So, we implement firewalls like intrusion detection systems and other tools to secure networks and prevent unauthorized access by the unauthorized by the malicious persons. So the endpoint security basically protects our individual devices like our computers, smartphones, our our smartphone, our our appliances and IoT devices from malware and other cyber threats. Data protections basically ensures the confidentiality and integrity of data with some of the techniques like encryption, digital signature, access control, secure data storage practices, identity and access management. So it basically manages user identities and controls the access to systems and resources to prevent unauthorized use. Incident response means it develops plans and procedures to effectively respond to and recover from cyber incident and breaches. Data security awareness training. So the aims of the security awareness training is to educate users about safe online practices. So vulnerability management. So it basically identify and addresses software vulnerabilities to minimize the risk of exploitations. Risk management. So basically it identifies access and mitigate potential risk to an organization's information system and its digital assets. So penetration testing basically used to simulating cyber security attacks in order to identify the vulnerabilities and weaknesses in system and networks, security auditing and compliance. So it evaluates system and process to ensure they adhere to relevant cybersecurity regulations and standards. Cloud security implements security measures to protect data applications hosted in cloud environment. So mobile security basically protects our mobile devices and the data they contains from various cyber security attacks. So what is the meaning of firewall? A firewall is a network security system that continuously monitors and controls our incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. So it also establish a barrier between a trusted network and untrusted networks, such as the internet. So these are the types of firewall. So first one is packet filtering firewalls, circuit level gateways, stateful inspection firewalls, application level gateways. Sometimes it is also called private proxy firewalls, next gen firewalls, software hardware firewalls, cloud firewalls. So now we have we will discuss about digital forensic. So basically it contains the five parameters, which is identification, preservation, analysis, documentation, and presentation. So what is the meaning of identification? So basically we identify the purpose of the investigation in digital forensic, and we identify the resources which is being to required during the identification. So in the preservation, the data is isolate, secure, and preserve. Analysis. So we have to analyze the data by using identity tool and techniques to which is being used. We have to process our data and interpret analysis result. So finally, we have to analyze the and we have to analyze and conclude the final results. In the documentation of the crime scene along with the planning, presentation basically provides the process of summarization and explanation. Our conclusion is done with the help of gather facts. So these are the cyber security solutions. So now we are going to talk about what could be the basic cyber security solutions. So these are firewalls, intrusion detection systems. Sometimes it is called IDS, intrusion prevention system, IPS, which is called IPS, antivirus and anti-malware software, encryption, multi-factor authentication, two-factor authentication. Both are the very important solutions for the cyber security. Access control systems, security information and event management systems, patch management, endpoint security. So first, and security, security and endpoint security, data loss prevention, network segmentation, penetration, security awareness training, backup, disaster recovery, vulnerability management, cloud security solution, behavior analytics. First, we talk about firewall. So basically, firewalls are the network security devices which continuously monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic. So they can be or they could be hardware, software based and help prevent unauthorized access and potential attacks. Intrusion detection basically detects unauthorized access or suspicious activities within a network. So antivirus and anti-malware software. So these tools detect and prevent remove malicious software such as viruses, worms, trojans, and other types of malwares in the system. So encryption basically transforms data into unreadable format using some crypto could be a hash function, digital signatures, or protect sensitive information from unauthorized access during the transmission of the messages. So the next one is multi-factor authentication and two-factor authentication. So these techniques basically provides multiple forms of identification before accessing system, or we can say our data, so which enhance security beyond traditional passwords. So access control system basically provides the roles and permissions, reducing the risk of unauthorized access. Security and event management system. So it basically gets and analyze the event data sources to identify and respond to potential incidents. So what is the patch management? So basically it continuously update softwares or operating system application installed in our system with the least security patches to help address, which helps address known vulnerabilities, and it could be help to minimize potential entry points for the attackers. So what is the endpoint security? So basically, it protect individual devices from the various cyber threats, include antivirus, anti-malware, and firewall protections. So data loss prevention is also a cybersecurity solution. So which basically monitor and control the movement of sensitive data to prevent unauthorized access, leakage of the information, network segmentation. Next one, network segmentation basically used to which divide a network into smaller segments and limits the potential impact of the cyber attacks and prevents little moments of attackers. So penetration testing, sometimes also called ethical which penetration testing involves simulating cyber to identify one system, or we can say in the network. So security awareness training. So basically, we educate our employees and users about safe online practices. So how we can recognize some phishing attacks, social engineering attack, and other common attacks in the system. So backup and disaster recovery. So so we basically regularly back up the data and having a comprehensive disaster recovery plan which helps to restore our system and data in the event of a cyber incident. Vulnerability management used to identify access and remediating vulnerabilities in the software and system, which reduce the security attacks. So cybersecurity solutions, basically, these tools in some of the tools and practices specifically designed to secure cloud-based environment and data, so which provide the security while we are storing our data in the cloud. So behavioral analytics. So basically, we analyze user and system behavior to detect anomalies and potential security breaches in the system. So these are the basic cryptographic techniques. So the cryptographic techniques basically divided into two categories. The first one is classical and modern. In the classical categories consist of substitutional and transpositional techniques. So in the substitution techniques, it contains some ciphers like Caesar ciphers and polyalphabetic ciphers. And in the modern techniques consist of symmetric and asymmetric encryption techniques like are RSA, DSA, AES, DS, 3DS, RC4. So these are the basic cryptographic techniques used to protect the cybersecurity attacks. So these are the cybersecurity solutions. So which is basically divided into three categories: cybersecurity, cryptographic, computer forensic. So the main important thing is cybersecurity, so which contains confidential authentication, integrity, key sharing. So all these techniques contain some of the algorithms like hash function, RSA, cryptography, public private key based. So these are the solutions to protect our from the cyber attacks. Now I would like to thank to all of you. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
completed from my side.
Okay, okay, sir. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for this valuable session. And we have gained a lot of knowledge from your side. And that's
Thank you
why
so much. My pleasure.